All right, welcome back. Yes, it's time now for the interview segment, and we have our guest on standby. As you know, today is our Health Thursday, and we'll bring you discussions pertaining to health. As the common saying, health is wealth. So this morning, we have our guest Adejoke Akanbi to talk on the how to manage cholesterol level in the body. Good morning, Adejoke.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us this beautiful Thursday morning. How are you doing today?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you for having me around.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Yes.
much. All right, so moving straight to the topic of the day, the discussion of the day. So many people talk about cholesterol here, cholesterol there. You're not supposed to eat something. You're not supposed to do something. Some people don't even know what cholesterol really is. They just understand that cholesterol is just in the body. Don't just eat oil. Don't do this. So, as a medical personnel, can you give us a full detail of what cholesterol really means?
Okay, to start with, cholesterol is a waxy substance that is found in the body, and it's not totally bad because a lot of persons just freak out at the mention of cholesterol because cholesterol is useful in the body for building of some cells and building of some certain hormones like the steroid hormones, the sex hormone, the glucocorticoids, and so on. But the problem arises when this level of cholesterol is too high. Like when the cholesterol level is too high, that's when we have the high level of the low density type of cholesterol. Now let's go to the sources of cholesterol, like where you can get cholesterol from. There are two sources of cholesterol. We have the liver source and the dietary source, because originally the liver can produce cholesterol by itself for the body's good. And you can also get cholesterol from dietary, from what you eat and all that. Now there are two kinds of cholesterols, because not every type of cholesterol is bad. There are two types of cholesterols. We have the low density lipoprotein and we have the high density lipoprotein. Now this low density lipoprotein is known as the bad cholesterol, because if you have this low density lipoprotein in high level, like high proportion of it in your body, that's when there will be a problem to the body. But if you have high density lipoprotein cholesterol, that's a good type of cholesterol that does not cause harm to the body. Rather, it helps to build up your cells and help to build up certain hormones in the body. So that's basic analysis of what cholesterol is.
All right. Now, so can you tell us, like, because like I said earlier, some people will tell you don't take oil. Oil causes too much of oil causes cholesterol. Too much of butter, too much of cheese, and all of that. So, can you tell us what food we can consume that would? Okay, to start with, is it bad when it is high, or is it bad when it is very low? Because like our blood pressure, they'll say when it's too high is bad, when it's too low is also bad. Now, what level do you think cholesterol should be that would not be harmful to the individual?
Okay, like I mentioned earlier, we have two types of cholesterol. We have the low density lipoprotein cholesterol, that's the LDL cholesterol. Then we have the high density lipoprotein, that's the HDL cholesterol. Now, if you have LDL in high range, like high volume of LDL causes problems in the body. For instance, if it ranges from a normal LDL in the body is supposed to range between 100 milligram per dl. So if an adult has high level of low density lipoprotein, then it causes harm to the body. But if you have high level of high lipoprotein, high density lipoprotein, that's the HDL. If you have it in high level, it does not cause problem to the body. Rather, it even hinders the body from, like, it hinders strokes and heart diseases from coming to the body. So that's that.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Now you've mentioned, I think you had a lot of medical terms in your previous answer. 100 milligram, low density, high density. So let us bring it to a layman's term. So what are the kinds of food that people would eat and would increase their level of cholesterol, or increase give them the high level density type of cholesterol? So what can you point us out to some foods that people can eat that will increase the high rate of cholesterol in the body?
Okay, we have foods that are of dietary sources like dairy sources. That's the cheese, the red meat, for instance.
Okay.
Foods that contain foods that are extracted, like oil that are extracted from animals. An example is oil that is extracted from turkey,
Oh,
chicken,
wow.
for instance. Those are oils that are very high in low density lipoprotein kind of cholesterol. So these oils are extracted from these sources causes problem to the body. And we have the cheese, like I mentioned, and red meat, like I mentioned, and a whole lot of them like that.
So
And
that means that
however,
it is really not safe for us to eat the stock meat. There's this thing that when you boil turkey or chicken, you now say, okay, once you use the stock meat to cook maybe the stew or the rice and in jollof rice and all of that.
Yeah.
exactly, yes, exactly. And for the fact that I said oils are extracted from animals, fish is exempted because if you let's have some practicals here. If you extract oil from, let's say, animals, or let's say the random soya that we buy. When you buy soya, there are some portion of the soya part that would be very
Fatty.
oily at some point. Then when you get inside, probably if the temperature has been changed, then it becomes very hard. That is an
Yes.
example of foods that are rich in dangerous type of cholesterol. That's the bad type of cholesterol. But the fish, if you extract oil from fish, that's fish oil. If you notice that no matter how, regardless of the temperature, it doesn't get
Yes, it doesn't have the fish.
deformed. So that's an example of oil that is extracted from animals that does not also cause problem to the body. Another example is our normal red palm oil. It contains high level of the dangerous type of cholesterol in the body. However, there are some kind of, like I mentioned earlier, there are kind of cholesterols that are being produced by your liver itself. Not every cholesterol is gotten from food. And although your food might trigger the production of these cholesterols by the liver. So it's always very safe when you watch the things you eat so that these cholesterol don't cause problems to your body.
Thank you so much on that. So
Thank you. Sorry, you just talked about food, turkey, palm oil, and all of that. Now, is it just the food consumption that makes the cholesterol level to be high? Is it just food, or is there any other thing that people should be watchful of?
Basically, foods will trigger the high production of these cholesterols in your body, but other things that can affect this level of cholesterols are some dangerous habits like smoking, excessive alcohol intake, and smoking and all that, and not taking enough water. Because when I get to explain how this cholesterol causes harm to the body, then you see the importance of taking enough water every day so that you'll be free from anything that could lead to high level of cholesterol in your body.
Okay, thank you so much on that. So let's come to the warning signs. How can a person detect that he or she is beginning to have some symptoms or some symptoms of cholesterol, the high cholesterol, density, or in their body, and then they are moving on to that dangerous part, or their health is beginning to fail them. So what are the warning signs that a person has to look out for, and then quickly rush down to the hospital to take medications?
Okay, to start with, there are some individuals that these things are very asymptomatic in them. That is, they don't get to portray these symptoms before it gets to that very deadly stage. Now, however, there are these common symptoms that you can look out for. For instance, pain in the left side of the chest. That's where your heart is located. So if you feel constant pain in this region, then you should look out for your cholesterol level. You should go and check for your cholesterol level. And dizziness, when you feel too dizzy every now and then, and when you are always burnt out, you are burnt out unnecessarily. Wow. Like when you are supposed to be very active, you are always burnt out. And other symptoms that you can look out for includes pain in the leg region, pain in some joints, and other random pains like that. However, these symptoms might not portray in some individuals. So you just need to check up every now and then, go check your cholesterol level. You can even be provided with kits, and you'll be taught how to do these things in your closet. So if you can't get to like go to the hospital to check for your cholesterol level every now and then, but it's just advisable you do that.
Thank you so much.
Okay, but now still talking about cooking oil, like you mentioned the other time, some people will say that oil doesn't cause so much cholesterol. Like you can just take your oil. That is just like a myth. Is this true?
Okay, let's not forget that these people that are saying all these things are trying to like market their products, so they can say anything to make their products very safe to the public. But I don't want to mention brands, but there are some oils that are very dangerous to the body. They are very high in cholesterol level. They are saying all that so that they can sell out their products very fast. So just the only oil that I can vouch for that is totally not okay, I would say totally free from cholesterol is olive oil, for instance. Olive oil doesn't, and if you let's do some practicals. If you keep your olive oil, I'm very sure you're conversant with olive oil, anointing oils in churches. No matter the temperature, it doesn't get solidified, it doesn't deform, it doesn't nothing happens to it. That's an indication that if this oil gets into your body, there would be no problem, there would be no solidification. Let me use that word. That's a very simple word. There will be no solidification of this oil, and obviously it cannot cause any harm to the artery or the blood passage or anything. So most of these random oils are very dangerous. However, it has been proven that groundnut oil sometimes might be safer than red palm oil. Yes, it has been proven, but then not every kind of groundnut oil
is
safe for consumption. Not every type of oil like that is safe for consumption, especially oil that you extract from animals, except fish oil. Whatever kind of oil you extract from animals, from cow, from chicken, from turkey, they're not safe. They're not 100% safe for consumption. They contain high level of low density lipoprotein kind of cholesterol.
All right, now I want to go for a cholesterol test. What would I tell them when I get it? Is there a name for it? Is there a common name for a cholesterol test?
No, just go for your analysis of cholesterol. There's no special name for it. Just tell them you want to check for your cholesterol level, and analysis will be done, and that's all. And in most cases, these tests are being carried out by like when you need to. There are some health conditions that would require you to check your cholesterol level, and if you just want to like go check randomly, why not? You can go and check.
Now, do you agree with the fact that cholesterol is high level of cholesterol is a silent killer, just like high blood pressure? Like you don't, you just wake up one day and then you feel somehow and then boom,
person is gone. Yes, because I also wanted to ask, you know, what are the effects of a high level of cholesterol in a person's body?
Okay, I would agree to the fact that it's a silent killer because this is my reason. There's a condition called atherosclerosis, and I will break it down. And this is when you have deposition of plaque. That's deposition of fatty substances in your bloodstream, in your artery. The artery is called the sclerosis. Now, if this deposition is being made on, I would like to be practical about it. Let's say this is your artery, and this is supposed to be a passage for your blood, and there is deposition of this fat, and this deposition of this fat and plaque is a combination of cholesterol, waste products, fatty acids, and all that in the passage. Now, this passage, artery does what? It carries oxygenated blood from the heart to every part of the body, and if you do not have oxygenated blood, you cannot be able to carry out your activities randomly as human. So if this deposition blocks this passage, for instance, there will be no flow of blood from the heart to every part of the body, which can cause a lot of problems. Number one problem is tissue death. Now, the tissues that are not supplied with oxygenated blood would probably they will start dying off. Another thing that can happen is thrombus. Thrombus is when there is clotting of blood, like this blockage has caused blood from flowing, and they start clotting. And if they start clotting, the body will not be supplied with blood, oxygenated blood, to carry out these activities. And this can lead to stroke, for instance. It can lead to heart attack, for instance. So what's more deadlier than that? So that's why I agree to the fact that it's a silent killer. And couple with the fact that the symptoms does not portray in some humans, in some individuals. So it can take life very shortly, within a very short period of time.
Thank you so much.
Now, sometimes we say that when a person is getting old, you expect some things, you expect some reactions and all of that. According to age now, what's the normal level? What do you think is normal level for like a 30-year-old person, a 20-year-old person? What should a 50-year-old person expect when they go for their cholesterol tests?
Okay. Firstly, before saying this range, be rest assured that you'd be told at the hospital. But then, like I mentioned earlier on, low density lipoprotein, that's the bad type of cholesterol. If it ranges above 100 milligram per DL, then there's a problem. That's when you need to start looking out for very deadly disease like heart attack and all that. But be rest assured that you'd be given proper consultation and proper explanation when you get to carry out your test.
Okay, so when a person has discovered, person went to the hospital and finally was diagnosed with the fact that he or she has a high cholesterol level, what kind of food, there are some people that, they have to prescribe some or tell them to eat some kinds of meal or some kinds of food and just discard some other things like maybe red meat and the others that you've mentioned. So what kind of meal can actually lower the cholesterol level in a person's body? And okay, what kind of medications? Are there certain medications or certain, is it that there have to be some dialysis that will be carried out to maybe flush out all of those fatty things in the body?
Or is there surgery?
Is there a surgery just to clear up the blockade that has happened in the person's arteries?
Okay, to start with, let me start with dietary first. To start with, either you have been diagnosed or you are currently healing from it, or you are perceiving some symptoms. These dietary options are you can always obey them. An example is, let's start with fruits. An example is citrus. Any fruit that contains citric acid, that's the oranges. Then you can have the apples. You can have cucumber as well, because cucumber is very high in water and it can help to manage the condition, and it can help to reduce the level of cholesterol in the body. Then another thing that has been proven very effective is okra. That's okra, normal okra. You can extract juice from okra, because it has been proven that there's a certain gel that is inside the okra, and it's called I think it's a mucilage or something. So this can help to reduce the level of cholesterol in the body. And you can always abstain from foods that are very high in saturated fatty acid. You can abstain from, example of them are the red meat. You can always opt for goat meat instead of cow. You don't need to eat cow meat every now and then. And of course, you can opt for fish sometimes. You don't necessarily need to have red meat every now and then. What other food? Yes, you can always have avocados, and you can, like I mentioned earlier, you can always take a lot of water and ensure you eat foods that are very rich in fiber. Foods that are very rich in fiber as well. So these foods and many more can help to either manage the condition or help you reduce the level of cholesterol in your body.
All right. So how often does an individual need to be checked in the hospital? Probably 3 months, 6 months. How often do you need to go for checkup to check your cholesterol level?
Okay, regardless of the time frame, whenever you feel any sign or symptom of the things I mentioned earlier on, you can always go and check. Don't wait for 3 months or 2 months or anything, because the symptoms I mentioned earlier are symptoms that a lot of persons are very conversant with. Some persons will wake up one morning and feel very sharp pain in their chest region, and you shouldn't joke with pains in this area, because that is where your heart is located. Yeah. So once
like you said earlier, some people don't actually feel some of these symptoms. Like some don't feel. Some have
they don't feel. 3 months,
very 3 months rigid body system. So some don't feel. So like That's why I asked that question.
3 months is a good time. After 3 months, just go and check.
Okay.
Then the time frame is determined by the kind of the intakes that you have. If these foods that I mentioned earlier on are foods that you are very conversant with, that you take every now and then you can always go lesser than 3 months to check for your cholesterol level, and you should abstain from it.
Can this also be done for kids?
Yes, of course. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you so much on that. And moving on to the awareness, aspect of this, I think that many people do not know that, of course, there's something called heart attack, high blood pressure, stroke, and all of those, any other kind of condition. But then when you talk about cholesterol level, it's very hard for people to even, to even relate with it, or to understand, okay, what does it mean? And the next is, okay, you tell them, oh, stop taking these certain types of oil. They tell you, oh, that is the kind of oil we can actually afford. There are many people, they don't buy package. Many Nigerians do not buy package oil. They rather buy the ones that are measured, probably taken from somewhere, and then they are measured into gallons.
Because it's cheaper.
Yes, because that is what they can afford, and it is very much affordable for them. So how well has the medical society made sure that this information or everything regarding keeping your body fit or having to manage the cholesterol in your body, how well has the medical society really gone out into the communities to help inform or make awareness about this condition or this thing called cholesterol?
To the best of my knowledge, I don't think there is enough awareness for cholesterol levels. I don't think a lot of persons don't necessarily know. They don't know exactly what cholesterol is. They don't know if it's dangerous. They don't know if it's bad. They don't really have an idea like that. And I like the fact that KAFTAN TV is doing exactly that. And I really wish a lot of organizations can reach out to the society and educate them on how important they should watch out for their cholesterol level. But to the best of my knowledge, I'm not sure there is enough awareness for that.
Okay, do you think that we should consider this a public health situation? Should we consider it a public health situation?
Yes. I really do think, because most of the foods that we consume, most of our daily foods are very high in the bad type of cholesterol. So it is a very important thing that should be made known to the public, because almost everybody just come across these foods that are dangerous to the body. A lot of people consume food that contains trans fat, saturated fatty acid, without knowing what it means. They just think this is the best food for us to eat. So I would really be happy if KAFTAN TV can make it as a point of
I think we'll put that into consideration, at least just to try to help the community. All right, before we go, what's your advice for people out there, also medical personnel like you, also the government? What can we do as a whole, as a society, to at least try as much as possible to create awareness and also curb more of this situation out there?
Okay. Of course, we'll start from our society. We can always, as health practitioners, we can always educate them on the importance of looking out for the things you eat, and the dangers in eating. Of course, these things are very affordable. They are more affordable than the good things, and people should understand that nothing free or cheaper comes without a consequence. The fact that this certain oil is cheaper does not mean it's very healthy for you to eat, for you to consume. So I would really wish if the society can be educated, because a lot of our mothers just want to go for the most affordable kind of thing. And it's not their fault, it's because of the economy. Definitely. And also health practitioners that have vast knowledge about these things should reach out to the society as well and teach them. Let them know the importance of eating the right food. Let them know the kind of foods they should abstain from. Let them know the kind of, and to some extent, people think cholesterol is really bad. It's not totally bad. Like I mentioned earlier on, cholesterol helps in building cells and some hormones. But then when it becomes too high, there's a problem. And when it becomes too low as well, there's a problem. So the society really needs to be educated about the cholesterol at large.
Thank you so much, Adejoke.
Thank you very much.
It was a very
Thank you
insightful,
for
a very insightful session. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, you read our guest. It's very important for us to eat right and also go for checkups like at least once in 3 months. And also our medical personnel too they also have so much to do in also creating awareness about cholesterol. All right, so that's all we have for you on the interview segment for today. We're going to short break now, and when we come back, Daybreak Africa continues. Please stay with us.